As a Franciscan friar, I will never get married or have kids. I will also never amass a great fortune, will essentially never retire, and will go my entire life, never in control of where I live or what I do. As someone who has taken vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience, these are just a few of the sacrifices I've made so that I can live this life. And they are sacrifices. As I've said in previous videos, I always saw myself as someone getting married. I dated a number of girls in high school and college, was almost always in a relationship, because I really love companionship. It was life-giving and comforting, and I really liked it a lot. And so not having that in my life, not having the possibility of sex, that is definitely a sacrifice. While it wasn't likely that I would have ever become rich even if I hadn't become a friar, the possibility is enough. The freedom to control your own fate, to take risks, to make investments, to have your own money to do what you want. I am by no means materially poor, and that is a topic in and of itself, but I am poor in the sense that I don't have the ability to make my own decisions, and that is definitely a sacrifice I have to make. For many people, that is what our life is about. It is a life of sacrifice. When people look at us, they see, of course, that we get to do great things, things like the sacraments, but their focus is always on what we can't do, all the things that we have given up. It is a life of sacrifice. And for what? Skeptics abound, and they are not impressed. Seeing the sacrifices we make, all the things we can't do, they can't help but express their confusion. It's a useless sacrifice, a foolish decision, a downright wasted life. Watching this makes me sad. Dedicating your entire life to faith and only faith, I feel is nothing but a waste. I'm sorry you have fallen into the pit. I wish you all the best and appreciate this is exactly what you wanted, but can't stop feeling sorry for you. Life wasted. What a way to waste your life. Try new things, be with someone, etc., just because you believe in some imaginary dude and one old book. You do you, but what a way to waste your one and only life. For the Protestant, the atheist, even for some fellow Catholics, let's be honest, this life is among the dumbest things they've ever seen. Why would you give up a wife and kids? Why would God force his people to make such sacrifices? Over and over again, I've heard the phrase, "What a waste." You're just throwing your life away, they tell me. And so I wonder, am I? What do you think? My guess is that even for the most pious among you, even for those who hold this life up on a pedestal, there's still a twinge of sadness for me. I see it all the time, even in religious circles. There is at the same time reverence and pity, a sort of wow and wow. Although they would never say it outright that I'm throwing my life away, that it's a waste, there's something deep inside that feels unsatisfied, a voice that tells them that I'm giving up on love for the sake of service. Honestly, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, seeing all of these comments, hearing these concerned voices, wondering how my life could be different outside the friars. Truly asking myself, am I throwing my life away? I've done a lot of soul searching over the past few months, and it's led me to what I'm about to say. I have the best freaking life in the world. Really, I know plenty of people who don't get it, and it is definitely not for everyone, but I cannot even imagine a more fulfilling, meaningful life than I have right now. Let me put it this way for you. My entire life is about loving people. I get to teach young people about the faith, comfort the sick and dying when they're desperate, heal the brokenhearted with words of solace in the sacrament of reconciliation, feed the hungry and the poor to make their lives better, pray with people when they're in need, make present the incarnate God through bread and wine. I mean, come on. I live with men who, though different from me in many ways and are definitely challenging at times, support me and love me as I support and love them. Men who share a common sense of mission, a common outlook on the world. Men who gather together for prayer and fellowship every day, who make me laugh, inspire me to do better, who are vulnerable enough to share their pains and sorrows with another. My vows bind me in what I can't do, sure, but they also free me to live in a way that most can't even imagine. I do not worry about money. Do not worry about my career. Do not worry about impressing girls or raising kids or even the slightest bit of sexual tension, ever. With a strongly built fence around my life telling me what I do and don't do, I am free to roam as I please, focusing on nothing but how I'm going to love the person right in front of me. I don't know how else to put it, but my life is not a sacrifice. It may contain some sacrifices, yes, but at this point, all I see is freedom. All I see is an incredible opportunity to love and serve God in the world, and in turn, to be loved and served by God and those around me. I did not choose this life because I hope for some future reward in heaven, at least not entirely. This is not some grueling prerequisite, a series of miseries endured in order to get something greater in the next life. I chose this life because it brings me the most joy and fulfillment in this life. Seriously, I know that our hedonistic culture cannot understand this, but it's true. Even if there was no God, and I could know this definitively, I wouldn't choose a life of debauchery, sleeping around, chasing the dollar, doing what I wanted when I wanted. As tempting as that might seem in the moment, it's not the source of anything resembling true happiness. If you ask me, that is a waste, truly a life thrown away. Even if there was no God and I could know this definitively, my life as it is would still be worth living. Why? Because there is joy that comes from teaching life lessons. There's comfort in living with people who love and support you. There's meaning in serving the poor, defending the oppressed, making the world a better place for those around me. Now, could I do all of these things if I knew there was no God? Probably not. It is my faith in God, the fact that Jesus loved me first and laid down his life for me, that gives the ultimate meaning to all of this and motivates me to continue, even when I'm beaten down and near despair. If it weren't for God, I don't think that it would even be possible to do what we do for more than a few years. No way. But that doesn't mean that it would be a waste. Even if I ran out of steam after just a few years, even if my body and mind fell apart from trying, living this life would still be one of the most worthwhile things I could ever do. Throw away my life? What a waste. All I can do is laugh. And then feel sorry for those who say this. The sad irony of it all is that so many of the people who comment criticizing my life, feeling sorry for me, are doing the very thing they fear. And so I turn your concern for me back to you. I wonder about your life decisions, about the unofficial vows you take in life, those things and people that you bind yourself to. Are they life-giving? Do they bring you joy beyond immediate gratification? Can you really imagine yourself, old and infirm at the end of life, being proud of what you've done? I have no worry at all that my life might feel like a waste when it comes to an end. But I do worry about you. I look out on our world, and I truly do see people throwing their lives away. I hope that this is not you. I hope beyond hope that you can look at your life right now and say, what I'm doing makes the world better. The way I'm living gives meaning to my life and others. I hope. If not, today is the day to change course. Go to God in prayer. Look within yourself. Take a step back in the silence and be honest with yourself. What can I do to make this life more meaningful? You only have one life. Make it count.